Hey, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. As always, it is Nick here, back with your daily crypto news and analysis. And today we're going to be talking about Ripple and XRP, so let's just dive in. And let's start off with this tweet here from XRP_Crow, which is quoting Stuart Alderoty, who's the general counsel at Ripple. And we do see, as we have always said throughout, we have always felt confident about our case, and with each rolling, even more so. And here's those tweets from March 7th. This was basically a little bit of a light shined on the fact that the SEC is running out of ammunition. We do see yesterday's opinion from the court on Ripple and the SEC's proposed expert opinions. If you didn't read all 57 pages, here's basically the breakdown. Specifically, not only is the SEC's expert on reasonable expectations of an XRP purchaser struck from the record, but so is their expert who tried to say what caused the price of XRP to change. On the flip side are experts that explain how Ripple's contracts clearly differ from those in how he tax treatment of XRP, not a security, accounting treatment of XRP, not a security, and currency experts on XRP, not a security, are allowed to stay in. And this was huge, right? But now, today, more than ever, we continue to see updates and updates and updates around the traditional system. And again, I think that this is crazy because for the longest time since the inception of the case against Ripple and XRP, the XRP community has been laughed at, ridiculed, and basically told, you guys are conspiracy theorists. There's nothing going on here. There's no corruption going on here. Well, I think the recent updates around Signature Bank and what the FDIC was basically saying around, if anybody is going to buy Signature Bank, you have to drop all crypto business altogether. We even do see here from Stuart Alderoty, he's actually responding to this, and he's saying government action that has the consequence of depriving legitimate businesses their right to bank accounts is a violation of constitutional due process. And he's actually quoting it from the Community Financial Services Association of America versus the FDIC. Federal Reserve, and also even the OCC, District of DC 2015. And again, like we are seeing a lot of issues rise from the traditional system. These, suits that are playing the bankers, right? They are attacking this space altogether. And it's been happening for well over 2 years. But now, today, more than ever, we see the light shined on this. And we even do see down here a quote from Brad Garlinghouse. We are not only on the right side of the law, but we will be on the right side of history. I do completely agree because, listen, this needs to stop. We need to rise up against this. Like banks, the major players, like their time in the sun has come to an end. A new evolution of finance, technology, etc., is rising. A new system is on its way. Now, it could be a new system controlled by central banks, or it could be a new system that embraces retail individuals, security, control, etc. But again, a lot of people are thinking that this new system is going to be centered on CBDCs, where central bankers are still in control, the elites are still in control, the rich continue to be rich, and the poor continue to get completely screwed. We need to make sure that this next evolution, this next historical revolution around technology and finance, it changes the overall system. It changes the food chain, if you will, because we cannot continue to have the rich get rich off of the backs of the poor individuals out there, and the retail sector completely getting thrown down the stairs and left for dead, basically. Because that's exactly what is happening right now in the traditional world of finance. And we do see over here from Wilbur54 XRP, when Gary Gensler says the securities laws are clear, it is his way of saying to companies, come in and register. But as a bankruptcy judge says, the SEC offers no guidance at all. So how can they accuse anyone of wrongdoing if there are no guidelines to follow? And we do see here, although the SEC contended that the debtors somehow had to prove a negative, i.e., that the debtors were not violating securities laws and that Binance US is not violating registration requirements for brokers, the SEC had not even affirmatively contended that the debtors were doing anything wrong or that Binance US was doing anything wrong, nor had the SEC offered any guidance at all as to just what it was that the debtors allegedly were supposed to prove on these issues, or how the debtors possibly could prove what the SEC wanted them to prove without receiving any explanation at all from the SEC as to just why the debtors' operations or Binance's US's operations might raise legal issues. And again, this is like the issue that we've been fighting back against for so long. The SEC has argued that Ripple got fair notice. They got fair notice about what they were doing and what was wrong. But we all know for a fact that that is just not the case. There was no clear guidelines in place. Every single major project was going off of what we've seen around the Hinman speech with Ethereum. Think about that. And this is a speech that the SEC has gone back and forth on and said, "Hey, that's just public opinion. That's not, our agency giving guidelines or anything around, an ICO and what projects look like in crypto." Like, no, can't just say that, right? Because so many projects followed in the footsteps of what Hinman did announce during that speech. And today, we still have no clear guidance. We have no transparency at all. There's no clarity around the space. And we continue to hear, "Hey, just come in and register. There's guidelines. We can guide you along the way." Like, there's none of that. So, like, what are we waiting for? What are we waiting for? What is our taxpayer money going towards? An agency that's going to sit around and do absolutely nothing all day and continue to target crypto companies and kill innovation within the US so that the bankers can continue to eat our lunch? No, this needs to stop. And we do see over here from Brad Garlinghouse as well on March 7th, the same time that Stuart Alderati posted those tweets that I read. I just want to focus on one thing, right? Well, he obviously talks about the crypto industry and he talks about the SEC, but this one down here, this is the big quote. "If you want to regulate, then regulate. Put in the hard work to build a framework and set guidance," as so many other G20 countries are already doing. The 27 EU member countries can agree on a set of rules with MiCA. What's stopping the US? And really, what is stopping the US? Well, I can tell you exactly what it is. They don't want to regulate this space. They don't want this space to thrive. In fact, they want this space to collapse as much as possible. They want to attack this space as much as possible so that they can come in and fully grasp all of it up and control it. I think Ryan Selkis put it perfectly over here on Twitter. We do see the regime has picked their scapegoat and sent out talking points to its comms teams. Don't believe their lies. This is failed interest rate policy and regulatory oversight, nothing to do with crypto. The only true crypto bank was assassinated last week with full reserves. And look at these headlines. This is from the New York Times. "Risky bet on crypto and a run on deposits tank Signature Bank." Then over here, Barney Frank sees crypto as common element in new bank failures. March 12th. Then the next one. CNBC, regulators close crypto-focused Signature Bank, citing systemic risk. And last but not least, from WSJ, financial regulation, Signature Bank is shut by regulators after SVB lapse. Failure of real estate lender hobbled by crypto bet is third largest in history. They are all pointing the finger at crypto. They needed somebody to blame. And, obviously, it's not the traditional world of finance. No, it's crypto. It's crypto. It's this asset class that is today worth $1.11 trillion. 100% crypto, guys. Let's be real. It's not, banks over leveraging customer funds. It's not banks that, can't back their reserves. Like, this is a big problem, right? And I've been talking about it for so long. There's so much manipulation. There's so, like, the things that are happening around mainstream media is sickening. Honestly, as a retail investor, as a retail individual, you should be disgusted by this. Because this is exactly what happens 24/7. Mainstream media is all paid for by someone much larger than you can ever think of. For example, BlackRock, right? BlackRock controls most of everything you see on a day-to-day basis. Massive amounts of money paying off specific mainstream media funnels that continue to funnel you garbage on a daily basis. And this is articles, this is information that's 100% false. They needed to blame someone. They needed to blame someone, and crypto is the perfect industry for them to blame because guess what? So early. It's such a small and infant, you know, market. So why not target it? And by the way, I do want you all to read this thread. I'm going to include it down in the description below as well as in the comments below. It got posted by Alex Valadis over on Twitter. It's such an incredible thread, and it really discusses, how crypto is under attack. And the next year on how big it could be and how the future of the financial system will be defined. So definitely check this out. It's not that long of a thread. It's pretty short. I just didn't want to include it in this video because it would take up most of the video. But this is definitely an incredible thread that I think everyone should be reading, especially if you do believe that the system is fighting back against crypto in a much darker way than you could ever believe. So definitely check this out if you guys haven't already. And last but not least, I do want to include this video here that got posted from Tom Emmer. He was on Fox Business. It says it's clear that the Biden administration is weaponizing markets chaos to kill crypto. I wouldn't say it's to kill. I think that it's to, hurt it as much as possible. That way they could swoop in and take control of it. But we do see this is why I sent an investigative letter to the FDIC Chairman Gruenberg seeking additional information yesterday. Listen closely to this video.
More importantly, Neil, why is our government going after the crypto business? Signature, they initially announced that the issue was they were banking crypto and making loans. They weren't. They were just banking crypto, and even the New York Financial Services Department, the head of that, has acknowledged crypto had nothing to do with Signature. Barney Frank, the former chair of the House Financial Services Committee, has said it appears that this is an attack on crypto. In fact, two sources have told Reuters that anybody who buys Signature has to agree they will not bank crypto. So it's really interesting, Neil. More questions to be answered. If you look at the Fed, which just announced that this summer it's going to release or going to kick off its Fed Now program, which is a payment system that would settle payments within seconds. It's interesting, is our government competing with the private sector right now, and are these banks that are banking crypto actually the target of their angst?
That's a fascinating, subset of the story. It might be the story. Interesting.
And I do 100% believe that the U.S. government is trying to compete with this entire sector. Listen, it's like I just said, they don't want these projects eating the traditional system's lunch. And when you have assets like XRP, that when combined with what RippleNet is doing, is disrupting the food chain. And I'm talking, it's not just taking a couple $1 billion. No, absolutely not. This is taking a lot more money away from the big bankers. In fact, I've said it time and time again in the past. If we have crypto succeed, not just XRP, we're talking all of crypto, we will see the traditional world of finance get completely shaken up to the point where if they do not innovate, they will die. And I've said it. It's like anything else technologically. If you do not accept it, if you do not adopt it, and if you do not innovate with it, guess what? You will become the old news. You will fade away in existence. That's what's happening right now. And I do 100% believe that our government is trying to keep this market down and try to completely kill it. In a sense where if they harm it enough, they can come in, take control of it, and when they take control of this system, when they take control of this entire industry, what they are doing is stomping retail out so that them and their banker friends can benefit greatly off of this technology and essentially, keep the monopoly system going. That's all they want to do. They want to control it all. They want to grasp all of that money. They want to keep that money flowing into their pocket, and they want to keep you on the hamster wheel. They want you in the rat race. So with that being said, I hope that you guys enjoyed this. If you guys definitely leave a like, subscribe, to notifications on if you guys want more free content. You guys are more than welcome to follow me on Twitter and join the free Discord down in the description below. So it's up to you all. Have a beautiful day, beautiful night, wherever you guys are on this before. This has been Nick. Peace out, guys.